What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Doing a part two with the brother Tony that I was in Big Sandy with. We lived in the same unit. After that first video, a lot of people wanted to hear more. We kind of finished the video off where we were talking about my celly Adam stabbing the cop. So I guess we'll start there, Tony. Do you remember that night when that stuff happened with Adam?
Yeah, I remember the night and the months leading up to it. The harassment from Atkins, we called him Hubcap. Adam actually gave him the name Hubcap because he rode around, spinning around, messing with everybody. And Adam would call him Hubcap, and that's the name he acquired. But his name was Atkins, and he's probably 5'8", 260, 270 pounds. He was just a real shitty CO, bro. I mean, he would shake your cell down. I mean, he was just doing his job, if you really think about it. He wasn't going, he was just being extra, man. And people got tired of it. Leading up to it, Adam would always talk about how he wanted to book somebody. He wanted to make his bones. He had 25 years to do in the state and 25 years to do in the feds. And he had got in trouble with the mob, is what the word was, up in New York State. I think he was from Brooklyn. Adam was from Brooklyn?
From the Bronx.
From the Bronx, okay, from the Bronx. So he had got in trouble. He was something about riding around with bodies in his trunk, or he was just a wild guy on the street, man. He was a loose cannon, and he was a loose cannon in prison at Big Sandy, from what I knew of him. But he was a happy guy, and if he liked you, he liked you. If he didn't like you, fuck you. And so he'd always talk about how he just wanted to go hit the ABT. I'll take one for the team, guys. I'm just gonna go over there with two knives and just blast off on them. I'm gonna kill Dinky, whatnot, because we was always feuding with them guys. And we thought it was just talk, you know. We thought it was just bravado or whatnot. But
hey, man, listen, he was my celly, right?
Yeah.
And you know, he used to joke, play, and he used to tell me, you know, just like a normal conversation. You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow for breakfast? And I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm gonna go stab Dinky in the eyes and eat his eyes for breakfast. And I'm like, and for real, I was the dude celly, so I'm like, I lived with him, dude, and I was just like, he was a wild dude, man. That's a wild dude. You know what though, man? Really, he was a good dude, man, and he was loyal, man. And for real, man, I sometimes felt like he cared about us. You know what I mean? I did feel that way, bro. But go ahead.
So we thought it was just bravado. We thought Adam was just full of shit, but he had the sense that he would wreck your ass too. But so Atkins came in that night. I can't remember what night. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They was all the same. And we were supposed to lock down at 9 o'clock. And everybody about 8 will start getting their plates together, their fried rice bowls or whatever they making. So Preston, we had all been drinking. All the white boys was always drinking because you had like 4 of us that was wine and liquor makers in that block. So we always kept alcohol in there. And Preston was headed to the microwave, and Atkins was rolling around messing with people with his little breathalyzer machine. Now, the policy states that you got to hit so many people a day with the breathalyzer. Atkins would hit 10 times that many people a day with the breathalyzer. He was just a little bit too much.
Super cop.
Yeah, so, and he thought everything was funny. You know, it was all a joke to him. And the aurora he had about himself would just rub you wrong, man. People in there with 100 years ain't seen they people, and you got us up in the middle of these mountains. We're watching people get killed on a regular, life flighted off the yard. I mean, it's not a place to be running around with that type of attitude towards people that can't get up out of there. So President was headed to the damn microwave, or standing or in line for the microwave, and Atkins tried to hit him with the breathalyzer, and Preston refused. Might told him to get the fuck on somewhere, get fucked. And they ended up in a little chasing match, chasing each other around the pod. And Preston had his bowl in his hand, and somehow Atkins and him ended up on the floor wrestling. So by that time, Stevie, the shot caller for the Independence, had come out, and I guess Adam had come out. Stevie lived down in the top corner, and you and Adam lived about 10 cells down on that same run. And Preston and Atkins ended up tussling on the damn floor, and somehow Preston's whole ass fell out, and everybody's laughing, and it's just making the white people or the white car in the unit look like clowns, because now you got this clown ass officer that couldn't whoop none of us. I got our homeboy down there assed out in the middle of the day room, and I guess Adam and Stevie gave each other some type of look. It really wasn't no shot called or like Stevie sent him down there, but probably just the look of disgust on Stevie's face, and Adam wasn't trying to go for it or was trying to rectify it to make us. So he beeline straight down the damn tier and down the steps, and he was just two-piecing, bing, bing, bing. And we thought, like me and Coffee was standing up on the top rail watching and everything. We thought he was hitting him. But then as after about the fifth or sixth punch, we realized he got knives in his hand. He had two knives. He had a knife in each hand. And he's burying it in Atkins. I think he got him like 9, 12 times or something like that. But you see the crimson red coming out of his white shirt. They wore white button-up shirts. And Atkins somehow struggled out and got got away from Adam and got out into the corridor, and Adam ran back up the damn steps, and then we had a standoff. They come in yelling, "Lock down, lock down." Wasn't nobody really locking down, and the white boys was trying to stay out to make sure they didn't rough Adam up too much or do anything wrong to Adam. So then, what was it? I can't remember what lieutenant. Was it Endicott was on at that time, the old country boy?
I think it was, remember.
Yeah, I think it was Endicott. And he was real cool. He was a cool lieutenant. And he was the lieutenant that dealt with me when I got messed up for going behind the showers. Sneaking behind the showers to hide wine and steal metal and shit. But so they come and negotiated us to release Adam, or for Adam to come out, and promised he wouldn't be harmed or whatever, but they came in with their little beanbag guns and pepper ball guns, and they were scared to come up the damn. They were scared to come get at them. You know what I'm saying? Because the white boys wasn't locking in, and if we ain't already got our knives off of us and hidden, most of us had knives on us, and we wasn't gonna go for Adam to be beat up or hurt real bad for what he had done. So they negotiated, and matter of fact, Adam had walked back to Stevie's cell and talked to Stevie, and walked back to his cell and packed some of his stuff up, all while the police or the COs were standing about 40 foot, 20 foot away. It's like they wasn't coming to get him. They wasn't wanting that wreck.
They just wanted peace, man.
Yeah.
And they took him to McCrary that night. He didn't even go to the hole.
The yard,
that night.
Yeah. Now I think we was locked down for just our unit. I think they locked the rest of the prison down for like a day. And then they kept our unit locked down for maybe 2 weeks. And then we came out.
Right after that, they took all the sodas off the commissary, the honey buns, anything with sugar, all that stuff. See, a lot of people don't know that stuff started with that stuff at Big Sandy when Adam hit the CO.
Yeah.
Off that wine, man. It was a dangerous place. How did you feel that night? Did you feel excited when it was going on? Did you feel like nervous? How did you feel, man?
Just get numb to the shit, bro. It's just, the first one you see, it's like your heart is racing, your adrenaline's pumping. I felt vindicated a little bit because Adam was our homeboy, and this cop had been fucking with us for a long time, man. And you can't do that to you. It's like kicking a dog, man. You can't kick a dog but so many damn times before you get bit, man. And I ain't gonna say I like seeing that happen to Atkins, but it kept a balance between these crooked ass guards doing what acting any way they wanted to act, because they knew if they come a little bit too hard and they don't stick by the book or whatever, they was gonna get the business, bro. Cop, prisoner, inmate, whatever you want to call it. If you cross lines, you was gonna get it. You was gonna get it.
We, honestly, man, we did. We had a dangerous car over there, man, where dudes were like, whatever. You know what I mean? Dudes were just like, what's up? Do you remember the time when the dude Leo? Do you remember when Leo came there and he was beefing with the Black Boston?
Dude?
Yeah, because I remember when we were in the yard, it was me, you, Frank, Adam, and I want to say Coffee, and Adam was like, you know what? Remember, he was chasing the black dude around the yard. It was becoming a big issue.
Yeah, yeah.
And Adam said, you know what I'm going to do? He said, he had a knife on him. He said, I'm just going to go kill him real quick and end it. Remember, he said he was going to kill Leo. And I'm like,
I remember that Leo had fell out with some black dude on the yard and broke the rules and went after him. But if you think about it, man, how quickly would the white boys jump on a white boy to avoid an issue with another race? Like the black car, like there could be an issue where the black car had done something just completely wrong, bro. Might have said fuck you on the dead or put their hands on a white boy, but for the most part, them racist white cars, man, they would go out of their way and fuck the white boy up to avoid an issue with the black.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Happened all the time, man. You know, really, I want to kind of like talk about this kid too, man. The kid Money. Remember Money?
Yeah, I remember Money. He was kind to me when I first hit the yard in Big Sandy because I first went in there. I hit A2 and that's where the ABTs were and that's where Money lived and he was no, I ain't gonna say kind, but he was cool with me. You know, we took a liking to each other but there was clearly a racial line there, so we couldn't be too cool together. But he was young. He was around my age. I was 21, 22. He was 23, 24, and we'd chop it up and talk and have good conversation. And he was a high-ranking blood from Boston. I'm not sure if he was the shot caller for the Bloods on the yard or whatnot, but he was high up in the hierarchy. And might have been a year or two after I was there. Country boy from South Carolina came in the unit. And he hadn't been there long, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, and went to go changing the Bloods TV with the broom, with the mop stick, because the mop stick stayed up against the pole and you'd reach up there and turn the TV. But that was the Bloods TV, and Money kept that on sports or something or other. And Money came out of his cell, he had the remote to the TV, and he had the remote, and he was looking at the TV like, dude, don't fucking touch this TV, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? And, or I don't know what the wordplay was, but he was checking him about turning the TV. South Carolina dude wasn't having it. Cold cotton, bang, laid Money out, locked his ass up in the middle of the unit, and spit on him after he knocked him out. And they both went to the hole, and must have been 4 or 5 weeks later. Somehow I was in C1. I hit C1 a couple times, like a step down unit for the shoe or overflow for the shoe. But I happened to be in C1 when they was both. I was in there when they brought both of them in, and we couldn't believe in there with me in C1 with me at the time, and we couldn't believe that they brought Money and this South Carolina dude in because, you know, I don't know. So they put dude on the top tier and Money on the bottom tier. They would give us an hour or two for red phone and shower, and you just come out and roam the unit. They would let part of the run out at a time, never the bottom and top run at the same time. Well, Money had rigged this damn. Now, Money was about to go home. He was in the months, 6, 7 months. And I would see Money, me and Money would go to visit sometimes together. He had a good woman coming to see him on the regular and bringing a kid to see him. I'm pretty sure it was his kid, his son too, and 5, 6 years old. And so he was about to go home. I think he had been down 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. And so they brought both of them in, and a couple of days had passed where Money figured out a way to rig his door up. So when they locked him in, they let the top run out, and South Carolina was going to the shower with his towel around his neck, and I think he even had his shower shoes on. But so he was headed to the shower, and Money popped his lock on his door, come out, ran up the stairs, and just started demolishing South Carolina, and then South Carolina's head ended up near the rail at the bottom. And so Money grabbed that damn top rail and was just giving him the full heel into the head, multiple, like over and over, and he was pulling himself into the kick. Just turned his head into a pumpkin, bro. And dude ended up in a permanent vegetative state, and Money ended up with a boatload more time.
got another 8 years, maybe 12, something like that. He was just getting ready to go home, and now, he jeopardized being able to be a father to his son. Now that little guy that used to see on the visit, now he's going to be 15, 16 years old when he gets out of prison instead of 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
It's sad, man. That's why I say, man, people have to become real fathers, real leaders. But on the flip side, we are in a dangerous, dangerous prison. And getting knocked out over the TV and getting spit on. I mean, you're in a bad position. You're in a bad situation where in that type of prison, you got to handle your business. You got to do what you got to do. You got to get some get back. You got to save face somehow, some way.
Well, see, I watched his homeboys. He was probably going to do this shit anyways. But I watched his homeboys gas him up over it, gas him up over it, gas him up over it. Keep gassing him up. I mean, if a man spit on you, you're going to do this. You're gonna demolish him at all costs anyways. Maybe the getting knocked out part you can take and just throw hands over, but when you knock me out and spit on me, I'm going to try to kill you when I see you. And that's what Money did, man. It's something to do when I hook this charger up to it, Chad.
All right. It's all right. We're good, man.
All right.
So anyway, Money ends up, man, getting a bunch of time, don't get out of prison. A lot of people don't realize that the Supreme Court talked about this, where people's brains don't develop until a certain age, right? Mm-hmm. And I know you feel this way, and I feel this way, that, you're sending all these kids to prison, man. And when you go to prison when you're 18 or 19 years old, I feel like people grow mentally, but they don't grow. I mean, they grow physically, but they don't grow mentally. Like, you're stuck. When you go to prison at 18 and you spend 20 years in prison for real, it's like you're getting out when you're 22 mentally. You don't really grow. You don't develop. And that's why you make the choices that you make. You don't think about the consequences, man.
Well, not only that, I remember when I got sentenced, the judge was like, we could sentence you under the Career Criminal Act. You're being sentenced. I got my sentence, and then I went back to my cell, and it was just playing in my head. I was 21 years old, bro, or 20 years old when I got sentenced. And I'm like, career criminal. And I'm thinking to myself, so I get the dictionary out, and I look at career, and career is something 10 or more years, something you've invested in for 10 or more years, or something like that. And I was like, well, damn, so how am I a career boy, but they're sentencing people for the rest of their life for decisions made that are unconsciously made. Like, you're not making right decisions until I tell my son that, 24, 25, 26 years old, man. So these little irresponsible decisions that you can make from 17 to 20, 21, 22 can cost you the rest of your life, man.
It's an unfortunate thing, man. I mean, I was 24, sentenced to 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And, man, I deeply regretted that every day. But you're out here, man. You're free. You're a father. You're out here doing the right thing. And obviously you're molding your boys, right?
Yeah, we bumped heads a lot here lately. But he's 17, almost 18. So, we have a lot of similarities.
You ever have to grab them up?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's a part of life, right?
And when he gets so disrespectful, we had a big blow up a couple weeks ago. And now everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. But if you're grown, go be grown, homeboy. But that's wrong, because that's what my people did to me. So I have to retrace and take that, be calm about it, and I can't just put him out. Like, I have to stay an instrumental part of his growth.
No doubt. I respect that, bro, 100%. And I did a video about Dinky, and Dinky he died recently, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't a show where we really talk bad about people, but I'll tell you what, man. That dude was a horrible dude that did horrible things to people, made some of the worst calls, man, on white dudes that you could ever imagine, bro. Like, remember when they hit Aaron Maselli? Did a video about him the other day. Mm-hmm. Like, they hit the wrong dude, man. They thought he was someone else from Hazleton. He called the shot, Pinky and Russ.
It was Russell. What, Russell and Pinky that got him like that?
Yeah, Russell and
Pinky. They caught him in the stairwell or something?
Caught him going to work.
Yeah, man. That was Russell was itching to do that type of shit. That was the dude I fell out with real hard, and in A2. Yeah.
And Russell too started out with 15 years, ended up with another 25. He went to trial.
He didn't care about life, bro. He didn't care about life. I remember when we were cellies, we had a conversation, And I just never understood why he was joining the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas, man. And I said, and he had a son, he had a kid, he had a kid out there, a little young boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. I said, well, what about your family, bro? What about your family? He said, this is my family now. And I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a clown, bro. I gotta get the fuck away from this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a clown.
When you were in there, you had that little wrestling match with him. You got the best of them. Did you think that they were going to try to kill you after that?
I mean, I thought we was all right, bro. I thought we was all right. We were drinking together, man. I thought everything, we was just horse playing. You know, after me and him battled it out for so long that day, yeah, I was worried I was hit. I stayed on my toes. I got up when the doors popped. I kept my boots on. I kept my knife on me. You wasn't just going to off me in there.
And that was kind of like their thing, man. That was their mission. That's what they like to do. They didn't
sneak motherfuckers, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have no problem sneaking you and trying to kill you, man. Yeah. We might have touched on this on the first video. I don't remember. Do you remember when they hit that dude that had the store? You could hear him screaming through the vents.
Oh, you talking about Brian? Yeah, we talked about that in depth.
Yeah, that was
on my first video. Brian Ashlock. Yeah.
That was some of the dirty shit that they would do to people, man.
That was the first one I witnessed. That was maybe. I mean, they happened while I was there, but the first one I actually seen with my own eyes, that was the first one I really seen with my own eyes, and I was 20, 21 when that happened. Yeah, that was a good one.
Shocking to see that at that age, right?
Mm-hmm. The way it all went down, we talked about that one. That was in the first video.
Did you ever talk to your son and tell him some of the shit you went through in prison?
Not really. I try not to. I mean, I tell him about stuff I learned in prison because. One thing about being in a place like that, you're gonna learn people at their rawest form, bro. Ain't nothing anybody out here can get over on you, or you see shit coming from a mile away, bro. Like you can talk to somebody for 5 and 10 minutes and see what their intentions are, or see what their character is about.
It don't take long to learn people. I tell my wife that all the time. Like I got good insight on people, man. I'm good at it, but it's because all the time we spend in there with different personalities, you pick up on stuff. You pick up on things. Like, you would know when something's going to happen, man, in the unit. Because you're like, boom. You're very observant. You see dudes got, what do we used to call it back then? Suited and booted?
Yeah. Well, I seen a little meme the other day. The Mexican, that place, it was for keeps, bro. So, you know, you had to be on your A game up there.
Do you remember that kid? Remember the kid I had punched that kid on the baseball field?
Bear.
No, that was the other one. That was the DWB Dick Rider. The kid on the baseball field used to make all the knives for us, man. He was from Minnesota. Do you remember him? Remember Nuts and what the hell was that kid's name? Was it Bolts came in and they hit him in the unit?
I remember something like that.
Nab. I don't know if you remember when they came. They didn't want me to hit him in the unit. They sent man. What the hell was this kid's name, man?
So they sent you on the mission to go hit him because he was making knives for other people or for other cars or something.
No, I hit him on the baseball field because he invited people to his private parts or whatever. I bust his eye open. He was leaking.
I remember something like that.
Do you remember the kid Bolts? Adam and them didn't want me to hit him in the unit. Adam wanted to throw him over the top tier.
He wasn't in our unit though. He was on B side or C side or something.
He was in our unit, and then Bolts and them came in there to get him because they didn't want me to.
Bald-headed kid.
Yeah, remember the bald-headed kid Bolts?
Yeah,
from Pennsylvania.
Vaguely.
They were chasing him on the top tier.
I must not have been in there when that went down there.
Maybe you came after. But anyway, the thing, you were there when I hit Bear. The thing is, man, like that I want people to know is when you're in a car, right? There's dudes that will tell you, yo, I want you to go do this. You have to do this. And there's other dudes that are like, hey, Steve, I'll do it, man. I'll kill him, man. You want me to kill him? What are these people thinking, man, when they're like, people were worshiping Steve and Adam over there, man, and people are like, "I'll kill him for you." And I used to be like,
I don't know what they was thinking, bro. I mean, I wasn't beside going and whipping somebody or dealing with something like that. But to be honest, like I ain't gonna try to stab you or nothing unless you trying to stab me. I'm not gonna go jack my whole life off because 100-year Stevie over here says go kill him. That wasn't happening. But you had guys that were in awe of his presence, you know, but I always kind of thump for myself, man.
No doubt.
It got me in trouble. It got me in trouble. Hey, what about, were you in there when I slapped? Okay, so we were drinking liquor, and I got disciplined when you remember Shorty in Texas, the two black kids that used to roam our unit.
Yeah.
All right, so Shorty in Texas, we was always cool, right? And Shorty was a young kid my age, and he was about my size, maybe a little bit smaller than me. I had been drinking moonshine all day long on the unit or out walking the yard, and Shorty in Texas came over there messing with me, maybe try to buy a cigarette, or I might have been buying a cigarette or something from them. And dude had made some type of gay gesture towards me or something, like some shit rubbed me wrong or something. So I had slapped him and whipped out on him, whipped my knife out on him, and like they was over there trying to play gay jokes with me because I was drunk or something, and I was a young white kid.
I remember that. I do remember that.
So I slapped him, and when I slapped him, he went back up against my cell door, and I whipped out my steel on him, and I must have been ready to. I was probably drunk, but he crossed the line, and then I so it made me cross the line. He blatantly disrespected me, so I slapped him, whipped out on him. I passed out at count time. When I woke up from count, boy, I came out on, and I must have sobered up a little bit. I woke up from count, and I don't think I had a celly at that time. I woke up from count, and I came out on the tier, and everybody in the unit was mad dogging me, like they about to kill me in that bitch. So I'm like, what's up, what's up? And I can't remember, I think me and Coffee had separated cells at that time, so he come down, he was like, bro, you know you fucked up, right? I was like, nah, what's up, what happened? And then it starts coming back to me what had happened. And I was like, nah, man, they was over here fucking with me or whatnot. So I started pleading my case or whatnot. They was like, man, they said you slapped him and whipped your knife out on him, and now you got to go. They're going, Stevie and everybody's going to politic about it right now. You got to stay in here while we go work this out. So then they go out to the yard, so I'm tripping.
Hold on. Hey, that kid was from Texas, right? He lived downstairs on the right side?
Yeah.
I remember.
So they told me I couldn't go to chow, I couldn't go to nothing. So I'm chilling in the unit, and I got my piece on me. I got my steel piece on me, my unit piece on me. So I'm like, damn, what the hell? They played these damn gay jokes on me, and I must not like that shit. So they crossed the line. So I did what I felt was necessary. So I'm pleading my case. They go out to the yard, and apparently Frankie was the leader of the Southern Card. Me and Frankie knew each other too from my days living in A1. And I guess they politicked it out to where I just had to wear a good ass whooping. And they wouldn't beat me off the line or nothing like that. I had to be disciplined. So when it was a dude named Scotty Barber, and Coffee came back in the dang unit, I seen them. They come up to my unit. I mean my cell, and they're like, come in the cell, put the towel up on the door, and then they start laughing and stuff, and then they start banging the unit. No, before they start laughing, they start banging my lockers and slamming doors and kicking stuff. And I pull out my shit, and I'm like, what the hell is y'all doing? And they're like, nah, just chill. Coffee's laughing. He's like, chill, Tony, it's all right. And Scotty's like, gotta put some marks on. You can't walk out of here without having no marks. I said, what you mean? They was like, they said they want you to be disciplined. You gotta have some marks on it. And I was like, well, shit, go ahead and get you one. And he cracked me, bang, right in my nose, slapped my nose sideways. And my nose was broke, and readjusted my nose. And yeah, that was an event I had forgot all about.
I remember that. So that's another thing that people don't understand in federal prison. When you're in a car, right? You slap that kid Shorty. He was in the Texas car, and people get disciplined. They're like, all right, look, man, we're not going to stab you. We're not going to make you leave. We're not going to beat you off the yard. You can stay, but we got to beat you up a little bit and make it look good, man. You got to get disciplined. Is that one of the most craziest things ever? Like you're a little kid where you got to have other grown men beat you up, so that all the other people in the unit can see that you're beat up, that you disrespected them, quote unquote, and now you had to be punished. So you got to wear a couple black eyes for a couple weeks, stay in the cell, don't go to chow. It's like you're a little kid, man. Is that one of the most ridiculous things you've seen in federal prison, man?
Yeah, it was. It's a different world, bro. Everything about that place was a different world, bro. You wouldn't even believe, a normal person wouldn't even believe the type of rules that go on in that place, man. It's wild. I think the Serranos, they get jumped by, if they mess up, they get jumped by 3 people for 1 minute and 13 seconds or something like that. I can't remember, but they got an actual structure and bylaws for everything. But yeah.
It was a crazy life that we lived, bro. You know what I mean? I'm going to close the show, but do you got anything you want to say before we go?
I mean, not really, man. Everybody appreciates what you're doing. I always get these updates on my Facebook. This person done got out because of you. This person done got out because of you, man. And, I don't know. I'm sure everybody does express their appreciation for what you do, bro. But it's pretty noble what you do, bro.
I appreciate that. Before we leave, I'm going to say this to people. I want people to hear this. Don't put yourself in a position where you're in prison, where other grown men can take you in a cell and discipline you and beat you up and punch you in the face. And I had an incident like that when I was in USP Lee where I had slapped this dude Kirby and they wanted me disciplined. And I was like, guess what? You're not disciplining me, bro. Like the whole, I had the East Coast car over there, right? And I'm not trying to be cool or nothing, but the white car was like, well, you got to be disciplined. I'm like, dude, ain't nobody putting their hands on me, homeboy. Nobody. So you got the wrong dude, man. But you know what?
Had I not had a little bit of rapport with people when that happened and been there for a while, them dudes would have just served me to the wolves, bro. But I was most people like me there, you know what I'm saying? Except for a couple of these, a lot of the gang members like me too, but just a couple of these ABTs I didn't get along with. But if I'd have just been some square ass dude that wasn't involved in everything that was popping, they would have served me to the wolves, bro.
You listen, man. You were a likable dude, man. There was a couple dudes in there. Like I liked Sack Joe. I liked TJ. But TJ ended up with a life sentence, supposed to go home in a couple years.
TJ was cool as a fan, bro. I think about him. I wish I knew his real name. Maybe you can send it to me later if you know it.
I'm going to try to find it, man. TJ was a dude. And you know what? We ain't going to close the show yet. We're going to talk about this.
He caught a body at the Smooth program in a life sentence, and dude only had 12 years.
He had a little bit of time, man, and then he ended up with, a life sentence. He was a good dude. He had a family that came to visit him. His family cared about him. He was a hammer skin. Then he started prospecting for the ABs and went over there, went to that Smooth program, killed the dude over there, and now he's going to die in prison. And you know what?
I always happy, always positive. TJ was all right. And he's the one that went to ride. He rode for me when I fell out with the ABTs because he didn't like the ABTs neither. And him and Richard were real tight because they fell up under the California rules. I
like the hell out of Richard, man. Richard was a good dude. And TJ had a good heart, man. He was a good dude, man. I don't know his name, but you know what? I'm going to try to find it, bro. And if I can find it, I'm going to write him a letter, man. Maybe have someone shoot him a couple $, bro. You know what I mean?
Imagine what kind of life TJ's living right now, though, bro.
Sad
Imagine
life.
that. Imagine that.
Very, very sad.
Caught a body in the Smooth program. He might be an ADX or some shit like that.
Good possibility. I'm going to reach out to him. So, again, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Again, man, sharing your experiences, sharing your stories. And for real, man, I'm about to have 2 little boys, and I respect you, man. I respect what you're doing, man, as a father, as a leader, as the head of the household, molding your son, man, keeping your kids in line, man. I respect you, bro.
It's a struggle, bro. It's a struggle.
I'm looking forward to it.
But you can't give up, bro. You just got to keep on keeping on, chipping at it, bro, because at times it felt like people gave up on me and put me out to fend for myself, and then that's where it goes bad, bro.
No doubt. Just tell people, man, don't give up on yourself, man. With respect, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.